I could go pull up because I see all of these goofy films about Jordan. I could go pull up film of Paul George hitting the side of the backboard, Russell Westbrook throwing the ball in the third row. I can pull a LeBron film.
But guess what? They can go left.
They all dribbled more than 3 times with their left hand when they did it.
I'm trying to imagine I'm trying to imagine Michael Jordan playing from 1984 to 2003 and not being able to go left. I'm losing my mind.
We see it today. Zion Williamson still can't go right.
James Harden can't go left neither.
James Harden can't go left. We're not going left.
It's not just exclusive to old players. There's current players who still can't use their own.
That's my point. But even though it's not true, Jordan could use his left hand. Jordan was great going to his left.
Yeah,
at a certain point, he got better at it, but there was a point in time where you can say
LeBron couldn't shoot for a while. I don't understand that. That doesn't make
that's
any
true.
sense.
That's very true. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? You just said a true statement.
Okay,
that's cool. We're pointing out a flaw that he had.
Yeah, but all of a sudden you point out a flaw of anyone who played before 1995. All of a sudden you're just a hater and you don't know what you're talking about.
No. You can point out a flaw, Mars, but this is what you're not doing. This is what we're not doing, Mars. I'm not pointing out a flaw of LeBron James. I'm not pointing out a flaw of James Harden. I'm not pointing out a flaw of Russell Westbrook and going, yo, the 2010s is whack. Get the 2010s out of here.
I would say
he ain't doing that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm all for.
In another 10, 15 years, I wholeheartedly believe there's gonna be a generation of basketball
when there's 25 Wemby's running around
that look back and be like, yo, LeBron deadass could not shoot. Yeah, they go back to 2007. They just went under every time and let him shoot.
LeBron really did suck. You don't want to choke your daughter.
I'm gonna be right there. If 30 years from now I see every team has 2 Wembys, who am I going to be holding on to Russell Westbrook?
Kobe was a plumber. Kobe played against plumbers. Kobe wasn't. I'm telling you, you're going to want to.
Every team going to have a bunch of Wembys, and I'm meant to be like, you know what, Russell Westbrook was the best point guard of that. Like, no.
We're done with the 2020s.
You think I'm not prepared for another 15 to 20 years?
Then
people to go back to the 2010s and be like, all right, late 2010s, cool. You got Giannis and Jokic. Who are these guys Marc Gasol was competing with at center in 2011 and 12? When they do that, I'm going to be like,
yeah, like when they start seeing Al Jefferson, I'm meant to be vouching for Al Jefferson?
Like what? I'm going to be like, no, you're right.
What? Y'all not going to vouch for Al Jefferson?
In 2050?
Not compared to Wemby, no. If they go back and be like, yo, the 2010s, the early 2010s,
are we comparing Al Jefferson? Are we comparing Al Jefferson and Michael Jordan? Is that what we're doing right now?
I mean, Al Jefferson could go left. I don't think you want
to. My point is, I'm all for judging players relative to their time.
He
could.
No, he's not.
I'm all for judging players relative to their time. If you want to be like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Dr. J, great in their era. I agree.
Yeah, but vouch for Al Jefferson.
But once you start saying, "Oh yeah, they're just gonna come into today's league and be the best player in the world,"
no.
I'm sorry. I've seen the game has evolved. I'm sorry. Larry Bird ain't gonna be the best player in the league today. He's not. I don't know what to tell you.
Now,
Jokic is just better than him.
Now I say all this about Jordan,
Mars.
But I pull up the film of AI saying he ain't have a left.
The best.
And then what? Then what we gonna say? AI saying he ain't have a left. What we talking about now?
How long did that go on, though? I want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure you're clear, Damo. So we pull out the film of Jordan. I don't know. Let's say in 1985, his left hand wasn't really that sharp. Let's say 1986, his handle wasn't really that sharp. But as time went on, it got sharper. Just like other guys who today their handles got sharper. Their jump shots got sharper. Their skill sets got sharper. But if I listen to Damo tell it, Jordan didn't have a left hand, period. Get the 90s out of here. So that 30 a game that he was scoring that 30 a game just dunking on everybody. That 30 a game he was scoring, he was just going right, and he was never doing anything else but just pounding the ball with his right hand. His left hand never got better, even though he'd
go left and just pull up.
Chill. I'm not that far off the deep end. I know Jordan had a left in the 90s. I will say that. When I say we done with the 90s, I'm talking about other players. In the 90s, I'll give it to Jordan. He had a left. But that 80s film, chill? Oh, that 80s film is disrespectful to the game of basketball. With the lack of left hand.
Definitely saw him going left, running down the gut, dunking on 3 guys. Definitely.
Yeah, you seen him going left. With his right hand and then racing up.
Saw him going left, dunking on guys. That was going on. It's a difference between being on the left side of the floor and using your right hand as opposed to going left.
Too many times.
So, give me a break. Y'all dudes just killing me.
That's my only issue. I don't like the people who are like, oh, Magic Johnson in today's game is just the best player in the league. Like, no.
In the 80s, I seen Jordan go behind the back to his left and then catch the ball with his right hand. I don't trust him.
He talking about that Milwaukee game when they played and he hit a buzzer beater. That's the game he's talking about.
That's fine. I don't
He's
trust
talking about that Milwaukee game because I've seen him go left on Kenny Skywalker and get an and one layup in 1988. I seen him go left on Sidney Moncrief and dunk on the whole crew. I have seen that. I've seen him.
Ben Simmons make a
one time.
And chill. That's the thing. That's why, like, when we get to talk about MJ's left, it goes in one ear and out the other. To me,
it does.
MJ go left and dunk on your ass.
Yep. I see
multiple different ways off 1 foot, 2 foot.
Damo, 1989, Phoenix Suns on CBS. Jordan throws the ball between his legs. He got Kevin Johnson switched on him on the wing. Throws the ball between his legs. Left hand goes right down the gut. Punches it with the weak hand. 1989. I'm done with you in these 2010s, Damo. I'm sick of you.
No. You want to know why I'm shaking my head, Chill? You want to know why I'm shaking my head? Because this is so disingenuous. Because if we were talking about young LeBron, and mind you, we're talking about the years where Jordan was a loser. So this isn't even Jordan winning. This is just him putting up good numbers. If we start talking about 2000s LeBron, and I mean, was he really complete compared to everybody else? You didn't have a jump shot. You could just go under. You could just let him shoot, and he would use all that space to still rise up and dunk on you. If I was to sit there and reply to Ron saying that with, yeah, everybody went under LeBron, and all he did was go straight to him and dunk on everybody and average 30, another 30-point game for LeBron James, another 40, whatever it is for LeBron James. It'll be, but whatever, he's still not doing X, Y, and Z. But with Jordan, it's, I mean, yeah, he was one-handed. I'm looking in the chat. He was one-handed, but how great do you got to be to score 36 a game with one hand? Like, all right, buddy. Like, cool.
You've seen the 80s and the 90s, and, like, you can see the game.
100%. It's advanced. The 1987 and 2024 is like this. It's not even close to the same thing. But to say that a dude who played for that long and was that good couldn't go left, I'm like, wait a minute. That's like saying Walter Payton couldn't run up the A gap. He only ran on the outside for like 7 years. He couldn't handle contact. Like, really?
When it's today's players, we're quick to talk about the flaws in someone's game. If someone says, like Domo said, LeBron couldn't shoot, and then someone says, well, he's unstoppable, people are still going to refuse that response, even though the proof is LeBron's unstoppable. But we say an old player who there isn't enough footage on couldn't do something. They couldn't be stopped. Why can't we just acknowledge both things are true? They were great players. He couldn't go left. LeBron James, great player. He couldn't shoot for a while. Steph Curry, great player, can't play defense. Magic Johnson, great player, can't play defense.
Jordan was not flawless. Jordan was not flawless.
I don't get why
Jordan was not
flawless. You say a weakness about an old player, God forbid they're a champion, their weaknesses mean nothing. Larry Bird has a weakness, but he has 3 rings, 3 MVPs. Magic Johnson has a weakness, 5 rings. Kareem has a weakness, 6 rings. Like, what? That doesn't mean you're not weak.
But hold on, hold on. Let's leave Kareem out of this. Kareem is exempt of this conversation.
Like, the idea that these old guys, you can't point out their flaws, but these current guys, we can talk about everything Giannis can't do. For 10 years, we'll talk about everything Giannis can't do. All we do is talk about everything Ben Simmons can't do. We talk about the things Steph Curry can't do, KD can't do, all of this. But you say a weakness about an old player, all of a sudden, you just committed unjustifiable war crimes. Like, no. Same energy. That's what I'm saying.
War crimes.
Same energy. That's it. If we can talk about the weaknesses of today's guys, either you do your research and talk about the old guys, or you just don't talk about them. But you can't praise these old guys you've never watched, and then when someone else criticizes them, you just want to act like it's untrue. That doesn't make sense.
It wasn't. Now, just so you know, fellas, it wasn't just Jordan's weak hand. He had a weak handle. It wasn't just his weak hand. He had a weak handle.
Early, he had a weak handle.
You're right. Mike handle wasn't extra crispy. He worked on it, and it became better. Right? It wasn't like it was something that he came into the league and he just had an extra crispy handle. No, his handle was definitely weak. And then he worked on it and it got better. It got better over time. He was able to put the ball in his left hand.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.